Yeah, obviously we did a lot of good things. No doubt, could have won the hockey game, but I think looking at it from a little bit of a bigger picture, I think we got a little bit more, and we got to be more consistent. I think that's maybe why we're a little bit on the wrong side of it here over the last maybe 4 or 5 games. Obviously, a good effort last night, getting the result we want, and a lot more good things today, but we got to be a little bit more consistent throughout the 60 minutes, especially against good hockey teams. To be able to build our game and put ourselves in good positions to have leads, control the game, and obviously get the result we want.
So what are the inconsistencies that you're seeing?
I think our execution can be a little bit better, and our pace can just be a little bit better consistently. So it's a long year, it's a grind, and we got to continue to work through it.
Did you feel that you generated enough that you could have won the game if not for Logan's play at the other end?
Well, we certainly had chances. We had looks. We're on the wrong side of it on the special teams today. It's just small margins, just execution at times. So, we got to execute defensively, and we create offense. You got to find ways to break them down and to beat their goaltender. So, we goalies are going to play well. They're going to have a hot hand. Tip your cap to that, but I think we want to be able to find a way to break through and do what we need to do to earn the result that we need. I think. We understand what that's all about, and the importance of continuing to stay with it and finding a way and just not beating ourselves. So not that I thought we beat ourselves tonight, but I just think our execution can be a little better, a little more consistently.
I mean, that happens. Boy makes a great save.
What did you see as the difference? Why did they end up on the right side of this one?
I mean, I myself had some great scoring chances, and then capitalized. So that's probably one of the reasons why that happened. And I mean, they played well too. So, but I mean, the chance I had early on, it was could have given us a little bit of a lead if I would have scored.
How frustrating is that when it looks like a sure thing to win?
Yeah, it is what it is. Can't dwell on it too long.
John was talking about the consistencies in the game for the group as a whole. Are you seeing issues there at this point, just being consistent in every area?
Yeah, I think we just have some lapses sometimes that we can't have. I think the majority of the game we're playing good. So try to minimize those sequences.
Is it a shift in thinking as a shooter at all when you're facing a right-handed catching goalie?
Shoot where it's open.
A lot of good things, but really the real dagger for us was that fourth one. We were doing so well, had a chance to come back and tie the game, and I'm not even sure how it went in. Deflected off something, I think. I lost it at the last second. So, like I said, a lot of good things, but just not enough to get the win.
Do you find yourself still getting adjusted to the NHL?
Yeah, a little bit. I think, I definitely had a long time off. So, there's maybe just like one or two times a game where I just feel like I'm just a little bit late, maybe picking up pucks through traffic, that type of thing. That happened a couple of times out there tonight, but it's really, once or twice a game. So I just got to clean that up.
What did you see on the major penalty goal, the first one?
The first one, the 2-on-1?
We let squeeze through it as well.
Yeah, I think you said it right there.
When the goalie at the other end of the ice is making stops on breakaways, pulling pucks off the line, does that factor into your mindset at all?
You just want to try to match him save for save, but he played a hell of a game tonight. He made a couple of crazy saves, a couple that you thought were sure goals, and he was able to pull them off the line, like you said. So kudos to him and kudos to that team. I thought they played hard, made it hard on me, and got to the paint and lots of traffic, lots of chances off the rush. They played a really tough game. I mean, that's not in my control, so I can't really worry about that. I just, like I said, work on trying to find that timing, and like I said, 90% of the time I thought I've been really good. Just a couple of mistakes here and there that I need to clean up.
The Leafs center dilemma: who can strengthen the roster? If you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan like me, you know the team's center depth has been a constant concern this season. With Austin Matthews set to return from a mysterious upper body injury next week, the excitement of having our star back is palpable. However, there are still serious issues to address in the center position to keep the team competitive and, of course, fuel our playoff dreams. David Kampf, a key piece in the center rotation, is sidelined with a lower body injury. As if that weren't enough, Kaye Jarnkrok is still recovering from surgery, leaving another gap in the lineup. Max Domi, expected to be a versatile asset, has been placed on injured reserve, further aggravating the situation after missing consecutive practices due to lingering pains. To sum it up, the Leafs are missing 4 functional centers, and the pressure to act is mounting. James Myrtle, a respected Leafs analyst and contributor to The Athletic, highlighted a series of potential trade targets to address this dilemma during his appearance on the J.D. Bunke's podcast. Among the names mentioned, 2 stood out: Nick Jugstad and, for the nostalgic fans, a possible reunion with Ryan O'Reilly. Jugstad seems to be Myrtle's favorite, and for good reason. The player, who signed a 2-year deal with the Utah Hockey Club last offseason, carries a manageable $2.1 million cap hit, which is essential for a team as salary cap-strapped as the Leafs. Additionally, standing at 6 feet 6 inches and weighing 205 pounds, he would bring not only physicality but also consistent offensive contributions. Jugstad is the most viable option for the Leafs right now, Myrtle stated on the podcast. And he's right. Experienced and versatile, Jugstad has played for several teams, including the Florida Panthers, Pittsburgh Penguins, Minnesota Wild, and Edmonton Oilers, and could quickly adapt to the Leafs' dynamic. With an affordable contract and a solid track record, he offers a practical solution without sacrificing too many future assets. However, it's impossible to ignore the possibility of a Ryan O'Reilly return. Yes, we know he chose the Nashville Predators last summer in search of a quieter environment, but the Leafs management still holds him in high regard. The 2019 Stanley Cup-winning captain with the St. Louis Blues is precisely the type of player any contender would love to have on their roster. However, the cost of bringing him back would be steep, both in terms of trade assets and cap space adjustments, as Nashville or a third team would need to retain part of his salary. I don't think the O'Reilly scenario is entirely out of reach, Myrtle said, showing that there's optimism within the organization. However, there are doubts about how much it's worth investing in a 33-year-old player, even with his impeccable credentials. Meanwhile, cheaper internal options like Steven Lorentz, Connor Dewar, Pontus Holmberg, and Fraser Minton have been mentioned. But let's be honest, these names might serve as short-term stopgaps, but they're far from offering the stability and impact the team needs. The pressure is all on GM Brad Treliving. He knows that despite the Leafs' solid performance so far, the center position is crucial to sustaining any championship aspirations. With the trade deadline approaching, Treliving has likely intensified his efforts to finalize a deal. And we, the fans, are eagerly awaiting good news. For now, all we can do is trust that the team can weather this tough phase and hope a solution, whether it's Jugstad, O'Reilly, or another name, arrives before things spiral out of control. After all, as we all know, the Leafs don't have the luxury of wasting another season with a promising but incomplete roster. The time to act is now. The Leafs center dilemma, expanding on the potential solutions. The Toronto Maple Leafs, amidst another promising yet tumultuous season, face one of their most pressing challenges, addressing a depleted center lineup that threatens to derail their momentum. While the return of Auston Matthews is a beacon of hope, the broader picture remains dire, requiring urgent action from the front office. With Kampf, Jarnkrok, and Domi sidelined, the team's depth has been stretched thin. The immediate impact is clear on both ends of the ice. Defensively, the Leafs are struggling to suppress opposing top lines without reliable two-way centers. Offensively, puck distribution and power play setups have been less dynamic, as the makeshift lineups lack the same chemistry. This imbalance underscores the necessity for reinforcements. Nick Jugstad, as highlighted by James Myrtle, presents the most realistic trade option. His affordable contract and towering physical presence align perfectly with the Leafs' needs. Beyond his imposing stature, Jugstad brings versatility. He can play both center and wing, a flexibility that would allow head coach Sheldon Keefe to adjust the lineup dynamically. However, acquiring Jugstad isn't without complications. The Utah Hockey Club, formerly the Arizona Coyotes, is currently rebuilding but may still demand a premium return for their experienced forward. The Leafs will likely need to part with a mid-tier prospect or draft pick to make the deal work. With their prospect pool already thin, Treliving faces a tough decision. Another name that excites fans and analysts alike is Ryan O'Reilly. The former Conn Smythe winner and Stanley Cup champion has a proven track record of elevating teams in high-stakes situations. His leadership during his brief stint with Toronto last season left a lasting impression. Yet, the Predators have little incentive to move him unless the offer is overwhelming. Should the Leafs pursue O'Reilly, it would almost certainly require a multi-asset package. A first-round pick and a promising young player like Nick Robertson might need to be part of the conversation. Additionally, Nashville would have to retain salary, a process that often involves a third-party team to facilitate. The logistics are challenging but not insurmountable. Internal options like Pontus Holmberg and Fraser Minton offer short-term relief but lack the experience needed for a deep playoff run. Holmberg has shown flashes of potential, but his limited NHL exposure raises questions about his readiness for a consistent role. Minton, while promising, is still developing and would be better served continuing his growth in the minors. A wild card option could be exploring European leagues or waiver claims to unearth an overlooked talent. Teams like the Vegas Golden Knights and Colorado Avalanche have found gems in unconventional ways, and the Leafs scouting department may need to cast a wider net to uncover an affordable, immediate solution. Another factor complicating the Leafs' decisions is the looming salary cap crunch. With Matthews' extension set to kick in soon, Toronto must be mindful of every financial commitment. Adding a high-priced center now could limit flexibility during the off-season, forcing Treliving to juggle short-term needs against long-term sustainability. Trade timing will also play a pivotal role. Acting quickly could stabilize the team and prevent further slip-ups in the standings, but it may come at the cost of negotiating leverage. Alternatively, waiting closer to the deadline could yield better deals as selling teams grow more desperate. The risk, however, is enduring several more weeks of uncertainty. Sheldon Keefe's role in navigating this storm can't be overstated. His ability to extract maximum effort from an injury-riddled lineup will be crucial. Keefe has already experimented with unconventional line combinations, but the lack of true centers limits his tactical options. A new acquisition would provide the stability he needs to implement a more structured game plan. The Leafs locker room has remained resilient through adversity, with veterans like John Tavares and Morgan Rielly stepping up as vocal leaders. However, even their efforts may not be enough to overcome the absence of key personnel. Reinforcements are not just a luxury, they're a necessity. For fans, the anxiety is palpable. After years of playoff heartbreak, this season feels like another chapter in the saga of unmet expectations. Yet, there's cautious optimism. The team has shown glimpses of brilliance, and the addition of a solid center could be the missing piece that transforms them from contenders to genuine threats. As the trade rumors swirl, one thing is certain: the next few weeks will be critical in shaping the Leafs season. Whether it's Jugstad, O'Reilly, or an unexpected name, the decision made by Brad Treliving and his staff could define not just this campaign, but the team's trajectory for years to come. For now, we wait, hopeful that the Leafs will seize the moment and finally deliver on their immense potential. Will the Leafs make their move? As the speculation intensifies, the Leafs fan base is holding its collective breath, waiting for signs of a breakthrough.